Hello, I'm in the cave and it's just that deep, man. Y'all already know, bro. And as you know, I wrote this book. It's on Amazon right now called The Journey Through Hurricane Katrina Inmate Story. And I'm going every day giving y'all a little spiel on how we went through this travesty, this man-made disaster called Hurricane Katrina while being in prison, bro. I'm gonna give you some ACLU accounts. I went did me a little research and got some ACLU accounts on what the prisoners had to do and how we had to endure. How we had to fend for ourselves, how we was left for dead, bro, by the powers that be. Locked in those cells, bro, in New Orleans Parish Prison. I'm talking about OPP, Timberman 123, Cachetta, South White, CCC. Man, y'all know what we went through, bro, as inmates, bro. And I gave you my personal story. I also had a intriguing storyline that I was going through personally during Hurricane Katrina. And that's what made me write the book. But like I said, I'm going to be going every day giving y'all a little something about how we went through this thing in prison, bro. Like, it's really never been talked about, bro. How they left it, they swept it under the rug, man. How they bluesed us, bro. Ain't no way it'll pull the ground like that, but I'm talking about this is something that we still talking about to this day. It's something that we talk about still to this day. But it say until now, the story of the prisoners at Orleans Parish Prison have received short shrift. Like many of the stories that came out of Katrina, there is one of survival, with few exceptions. The prisoners held in OPP in the wake of Hurricane Katrina took care of one another. They worked to free fellow prisoners trapped in cells filled with contaminated flood waters, watched out for the frail and sick, as well as for juveniles too small to stand in the water without help. Without food, water, light or ventilation for days. The response of the prisoners to chaotic, terrifying conditions was remarkable. This is what the ACLU saying, bro. Many of the stories are also about racially motivated animosities on the part of prison officials, while all of the stories are about the blatant disregard for the dignity that was owed to each man, woman, and child trapped in OPP during and after the storm. The stories in this report are not, however, simply about survival. Rather, they are stories of a criminal justice system that has had serious problems for a long time. The abuse of prisoners at OPP and the inattention paid to the basic needs existed long before Hurricane Katrina struck the Gulf Coast. Likewise, the damage caused by the storm only revealed how infirm Louisiana's indigent defense system already was. It is important that these stories are told so that they are not forgotten. It is also important so that the mistake chronicled in this report are never repeated. By instituting the recommendations at the beginning of this report, local, state, and federal officials can begin the process of bringing justice to the OPP evacuees while taking steps to ensure real public safety by making OPP a safer, more humane, and more cost-effective jail. Now, y'all already know we talking about prison systems, bro. And the way we were just left for dead, bro, that's what boggles me, bro. Like, just go get that book, bro. I'm gonna run it all the way down to you, bro. But they really didn't care, bro. They really left us for dead. Like, shit, they had to take care of themselves. So, I'm just standing, like I said, I come to you today as a beacon of transformation, bro. A voice for the whispers of those who were never heard, understood, or felt. The circumstances that we had to endure as inmates should have never taken place, but it did. And you were led to hear how the powers that be, who took it upon themselves to be responsible for the inmates, to protect the women, men, and children, and most of all, souls. The blatant disregard for the aspect of we are the people. This journey through Hurricane Katrina as an inmate in Orleans Parish Prison, not knowing if we were gonna live or die, trapped in the cell as we watched the city become swallowed in the purpose-driven waters by the powers that be that was used to so-called purge the city of New Orleans, and definitely separated the haves and have-nots. I do to remember those who fought, lost, and gave for the people. Those who were placed in unspeakable circumstances and still persevered. And I'll forever speak about the unjust systems, as well as the choices we have as individuals. And guess what? Your foremost reason for being, people. Look into that, bro. For those who experienced and remember the way we were left to fend for ourselves, how we had to depend on ourselves, and the way our lives were truly placed in the shelter of the Most High. I want to do this so the people will never feel like they're less than, that you're lost. Anybody can do it. And that we all have the power of choice, no matter any circumstance. My book, A Journey Through Hurricane Katrina, an inmate story, gives you my personal experience of life as we know it on the fourth floor in the house of detention during Hurricane Katrina. I want y'all to understand, bro. Like, coming from the streets, ripping and running in these streets, bro. They say I wouldn't be here today speaking on betterment. They say I wouldn't be here today as a published author. And I'm talking about even from family, bro. But I'm here to let you know that it's all on you, man. And I'm just utilizing my life to tell a story, bro. We all got a story to tell, man. Plenty of stories to tell. And this is your outlet, man. We ain't worrying about no likes or views, all that stuff, bro. We trying to get y'all to feel a nigga pain, man. So y'all go on Amazon and cop that journey, man. A Journey Through Hurricane Katrina inmate story, bro. Go ahead and on support a nigga, man. Straight out the mud with this, bro. Like I said, what a 5-6 homes month from federal pen, man. Yeah, got a LLC, publishing company, book on. I'm just doing, bro. Cause it's definitely not promised, dog. So, me personally, I'm just trying to put some good into the stream of life, bro. And all this stuff, like I said, I went to the main library, sat down, and did me some research and pulled up. These are what the ACLU was saying. And I'ma just tell you what I was going through. And those who know, they gonna tell you. We let the streets do the talking, man. We let the people do the talking, man. It said this report focused on the experience of thousands of individuals who were trapped in Orleans Parish Prison during the aftermath, during and after Hurricane Katrina, and discusses the nightmare that many of them later faced at various receiving facilities around the state. The authors wish to thank the more than 1,300 OPP evacuees who contacted the MPP to discuss their experiences. The same applies to the former deputies, staff members, and family members of evacuees who discussed their own experiences during and after the storm. Special thanks are due to the individuals who experiences, and in some cases, photographs appear in this report. For many of these individuals, it was incredibly difficult to recount what they went through during and after the storm. Not only because of the suffering they endured, but also because they lost loved ones as a result of Katrina. This report could not be complete without the regular input and guidance the authors received from attorneys and activists on the ground in New Orleans. The difficulty of locating and identifying prisoners, evacuees in the weeks and months after the storm was enormous. And dozens of Louisiana criminal defense lawyers, led by attorney Phyllis Mann, volunteered their time not only to locate these individuals, but also to represent them in court. Among the many whom we relied, the author wishes to recognize Ben Cohen, Meg Garvey, Mary Howell, Julie Kilborn, Rachel Jones, Catherine Mates, Pamela Metzger, and Neil Walker. Their work this past year to defend displaced and voiceless Louisiana prisoners in the most difficult of all circumstances served as abiding inspiration to this report. Like I said, bro, these ACLU accounts, bro. And it's crazy, bro. I mean, you gonna hear, man, you should hear how Marlon Gusman was talking. Man, if this ain't no plantation shit, I don't know what is, bro. And it's so crazy, bro. You gonna hear deputy testimonies. How they played on them too. Left them for dead. It's gonna be a nice little joke, bro. That's all we doing, bro. And we also learning and growing, brother. So I just want you to take the time out, fuck with your dog kid, and peep this out, bro. People, I want you to know that this is what happens when you rely on a system. From the alleged blowing of the levees to the deliberate disregard for human life. This tragedy, or better yet travesty, could have been avoided. Now the people of New Orleans are left with the trauma and memory of how the powers that be blatantly said, fuck us. This series called A Journey Through Hurricane Katrina will give more insight to one of the biggest man-made, natural disasters from a perspective of a person who has experienced being locked in the cell for days in the August summer heat without food or water, watching the vehicles get swallowed after the storm hit. So am I wrong for speaking about a 20-year-old traumatic event that has affected thousands of people? Am I wrong to speak about how human beings were treated less than the animals? Am I wrong to bring this type of awareness to the people whose livelihood inspires and shapes not only America, but the world with its culture? I say, fuck all that. It's my story that God has given me to tell, and I don't care if you don't like it. And I'm gonna tell you what they tell us every day now since we talk about Katrina. Get over it and deal with it. Now go ahead on and buy that joint, man. Go dip on Amazon and get that book, bro. Journey Through Hurricane Katrina, inmate story, bro. And don't forget, I'm popping up on y'all. I gotta learn this technical shit, you hear me? I'm gonna go live or something, man. I don't know. But I'm gonna hit y'all up every day this month, bro, with a little something about this here. Journey Through Hurricane Katrina, bro. As inmates being locked in their cell, bro. Fuck with your love.